Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron. Welcome back today to another video. It is the player ratings. Brentford 1, Everton 3. It's about an hour and a half after the game has finished and I'm still not quite sure how Everton have managed to win that game of football. Not in terms of based on the performance, because I thought we performed very, very well. Just in terms of what we all thought going into the game and how we all felt going into the game. I don't think many of us would have said, I expect Everton to turn up, wipe the floor with Brentford and beat them 3-1. But we did, and we were brilliant, and we deserved that win. And fair play to the manager for the decisions that he made, and some of the decisions that he made before the game, taking Dan Juma out and obviously putting James Garner in there, which worked at seat. James Garner I thought was absolutely fabulous. I thought Beto carried himself well. A couple of chances that he maybe should have done a bit better with, but generally carried himself well. Decore was excellent. I thought Mikalenko was excellent. Branthwaite was excellent as well. So fair play to the manager, fair play to the players. They dug deep today and they went and got 3 points in a game that I don't think many of us expected them to get 3 points in. If they can do that next week against Luton, which is expected because it's at Goodison Park, and then the week after against Bournemouth, then that's 3 wins out of 3 in those 3 fixtures, and that should be expected, and that'd be 9 points, and it'd be absolutely fantastic. Anyway, let's get into the video. I have given Sean Dyche a lot of credit in the instant match reaction, and listen, it's only fair. If you deserve criticism, I'll give you criticism. If you deserve credit, I'll give you credit, and the manager does deserve an awful amount of credit today for the way in which he set this team up, the confidence of the team, the half-time team talk, which I thought was really important as well, because we come out and we looked like we were ready to go and win that game, as opposed to being a little bit, worried or a little bit timid because we'd just conceded. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Jordan Pickford. Not a lot to do today, Jordan. I'm going to give him a 7. In terms of the goal, in fact, I'm going to give him a 6.5. Maybe could have done a little bit better with the goal. Again, like I said in the instant match reaction, I'm never going to sit here and criticise a goalkeeper for trying to save a shot that is right at him. Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe he should have got a stronger hand on it. Maybe he should have been able to tip it wide. But I think it would be a little bit unfair if I was to sit here and just massively criticise Jordan Pickford based upon the fact that he tried to stop the ball going in the back of the net. Because if he hadn't have tried to stop the ball going in the back of the net, then James Tarkowski would have been there to block it and we wouldn't have conceded it. Completely come against the run of play. Brentford had nothing up until that point and didn't have anything after that point either, really. Jordan didn't have a lot to do whatsoever. Couple of comfortable saves that you'd expect for him. Couple of comfortable moments on corners that he had to deal with. 1 or 2 shaky moments as well. But generally, overall, I thought he was very solid today. Could he have done better for the goal? Maybe. But maybe we're just being a little bit harsh with that as well. I'll give him a 6.5. Because we won a game of footy away from home. So I'll give him a 6.5. Vitaly Mikalenko then. I'm actually going to give Vitaly Mikalenko an 8.5 out of 10. I thought he was absolutely fantastic today. I really, really did. I think he's my man of the match for this game. I really, really do. Don't get me wrong. I thought Abdoulaye Decore was fantastic. I thought Jared Branthwaite was fantastic. I thought James Garner was fantastic. But Dwight McNeil, that's 2 games on the spin now that he's been absolutely brilliant for Everton after not playing a single Premier League minute before that. He come in against Arsenal. He was probably one of only 2 or 3 players that did perform on that day and that could, walk off that pitch with their head held high, and he's come in today and he's been absolutely phenomenal again. His little move, as I said in the instant match reaction, he even beat a man at one point and put a cross in the box and I nearly fell off the couch. I was that surprised. He took a man on, he beat him for pace and he put a ball in the box, and I honestly, I was watching thinking, what have you done with Vitaly Mikalenko? And who is this new fella? But no, in all seriousness, I thought he was great. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Defensively, he was great. Going forward, he seemed confident. The camera panned to him a couple of times and he was smiling after he'd made the challenge. So he's very clearly happy. He's confident. He's flowing. And yeah, I thought he was excellent today. Next to him then, Jared Branthwaite. I'm going to give Jared an 8. I thought he was absolutely an 8. I thought he was absolutely an 8. An 8. I thought he was absolutely fantastic as well. Again, really, really solid, showing himself to be a top young centre-half at this level. There was a lot of question marks around the Jared Branthwaite. Obviously, when Everton come back for the summer, was he going to be kept at the football club? Was he going to be allowed to leave? If he is kept at the football club, was he going to be played in Premier League games? Is he good enough to be played in Premier League games? Well, I know we're only a few games in and this is only our first win of the season, but I think it's fair to say, despite the fact we've lost a few games already this season, Jared has generally been really, really solid in every game he's played, and today was no exception to that. I thought he was brilliant today. His desire, his battle, his physicality, he's so big. And again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself and I don't want to get too excited, but he does remind me a little bit of John Stones when he was at Everton Football Club. Young, still raw, still inexperienced, and still got a long way to go before he reaches, those heights, or if he is to ever reach those heights. But ultimately, a good young centre-half, big, physical, puts himself about, can body people, is confident on the ball, knows how to use his strength without being silly with it and giving fouls away. Thought he was absolutely fantastic again, and he's getting to that point now where he's arguably the first name on the team sheet every week for Everton. So, yeah, thought he was brilliant. Tarkowski next to him, I'm going to give him an 8 as well. Obviously, he got the second goal, which was a massive, massive moment in the game. The moment that, ultimately, I think, give us the confidence to go on and really win that game. Good goal, good ball in, obviously, from the corner. Pardon me. And a good header by Tarky to put it in the back of the net. Generally, overall, I thought he was great. Thought defensively he done really well. Thought he was really solid. Thought he battled. Thought he again in the air he was really good. I thought on the floor he was really good. I thought just generally overall I thought he had a really, really solid game of football, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for that as well. He got the goal, which is obviously massively important for him and for us against his former club. But generally, even without the goal, I thought his defensive work today was absolutely phenomenal. I thought his battling, his aerial ability in the air, on the floor, I thought he was absolutely boss today. So yeah, he deserves that. Ashley Young, I'm going to give him a 6.5. Thought he had a bit of a shaky first half. Don't think he started the game particularly well whatsoever. Grew into the game as it went on, and I thought in the second half he was much, much better, looked much more calmer, more composed, more collected on the ball. He was getting forward, he was putting crosses in. He looked more confident with the ball at his feet as well. Like I said, wasn't the case for the whole game, I'll be honest. I thought he struggled a little bit in the first half, and I don't think he was as involved as any of the other defenders or any of the other attacking players. Oh, pardon me. I've got the hiccups, any of the other attacking players, but I thought he was okay. Even in the first half, I thought he was okay. Even when he wasn't great, I don't think he was massively dreadful. I don't think he was giving, many chances away or making many mistakes. I just don't think he was particularly great in that first half, whereas the second half, I thought he grew into the game a lot more. Dwight McNeil, I'm going to give Dwight a 7. Thought he worked hard today. Not massively involved. Had a couple of opportunities that I think I said in the instant match reaction, if he was fully fit and he was fully, match fit and match sharp, etc., etc., I think he scores a couple of goals today quite comfortably. I really do. He isn't at that level. We know he's not at that level. We know ultimately, he's still probably got a couple of weeks to go before he gets to that match fitness, he gets to that match sharpness. But nevertheless, I thought he worked well today. Thought he battled, put himself about, worked hard, defended when he needed to defend, got forward when he could, good with his feet, moved the ball right, and as I said, got himself in the right areas and got himself on the end of the ball at the right times. Just hasn't got that sharpness yet, or that little edge that I'm sure he'll get over the next couple of weeks to put those balls into the back of the net. But I thought he put in a real big effort today. Next to him, Garner Gay. I'm going to give Garner a 6. He had a couple of good moments. He had one where he played Beto through with a fantastic ball, and Beto absolutely makes a meal out of the effort, ends up chipping it over the goalkeeper and it goes out. And there was a couple of other moments where he won the ball back and he passed it off, and he as I said, he had a couple of good parts, but he also had a couple of bad moments as well. He gave the ball away again 2 or 3 times in a dangerous position, and thankfully Everton weren't made to pay for it. Thankfully, Tarkowski covered, or Mikalenko covered, or James Garner covered, but again, we can't really afford for Garner to be given. He gave the ball away 3 times in a position that, if we were against the top side, or if Brentford were maybe in a little bit better form, we could have conceded it on all of those occasions, and it'd ultimately be beyond Garner's, it'd be Garner's fault. So yeah, again, good moments, but some bad moments as well, and I think the whole thought that he was absolutely excellent today is not quite the truth. But he was okay, and Everton have won a game of footy, so who cares? Next to him then, Onana, I'm going to give him a 6.5. I thought he was okay. Again, not as involved as maybe James Garner or Decore, but I thought he was better than what he has been. He was more involved than what he has been. Still not as involved as I want him to be. Still not as influential on games as I want him to be. Still not as, eye-catching. Still not that player that you look at and you go, oh my God, Amadou was absolutely fabulous today. But it's all about improvement, and as I said, I thought he was better today than what he has been in recent weeks, so that is an improvement. James Garner then, I'm going to give James Garner an 8.5 out of 10 as well. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. I really, really did. I thought his player on the right mid, I questioned him being put on the right midfield. I questioned it before the game. It was a massive, massive decision by Sean Dyche. One that could have bitten him on the arse if it wouldn't have gone well and Everton would have lost. Then it would have been a decision that I think would have saw a lot of Evertonians turn around and say, come on now, you're sort of losing. If you're making that decision, then you're losing the fans. But it worked at sea for him. James Garner was fantastic. His overall play, his battling, his defensive work was absolutely brilliant. Going forward, he plays a pivotal part in Dominic Calvert-Lewin's goal, wins the ball back brilliantly, he plays a great ball through for Dom for the assist. And generally today, I just thought he showed exactly what he is as a footballer. And I've been critical of James Garner before, and I'll be honest, I've said a couple of times, I don't think he shows enough. He's very clearly a tidy footballer, he's very clearly good with the ball at his feet, but I just don't think he shows enough. Today he showed it a lot more than he usually does, and he showed why he's a fantastic footballer and why he should be in this Everton team every week. Really good on the ball, nice touches, defended well when he needed to, got us out of trouble a couple of times just by being cool and calm on it, and then even in the last sort of 20 minutes he's still on the defenders, nicking the ball back obviously for Dom's goal. So yeah, big decision by the manager, but it paid off, and I thought James Garner was absolutely fabulous today. Decore then, I'm going to give Decore a 9. I've changed my mind. I did say Mikalenko was man of the match before, and I do think Mikalenko was brilliant, but I think it'd be unfair to not give the man of the match to Decore. He was absolutely colossal today, and what did I say? During the week, stop playing them as a 3. Play Decore further forward in the 10 and just behind the striker, and tell him to stay there. Play Onana in front of the defence and let Garner do the running round and, the dog work. And Decore played as a 10, just behind Beto, and was a handful today. Brentford didn't know what to do with him. Obviously, he got the goal, which was a brilliant finish. Very nearly should have had a second one in very similar circumstances. Hits the bar. But generally today, I just thought he was an absolute handful. He put himself about, he battled, he worked hard, he was strong, he was big, he was physical, he was good in front of goal as well. I thought it was his best game in an Everton shirt for a long, long, long time. I do like Decore, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. And then Beto, I'm going to give Beto a 7. I thought he worked hard. Thought in terms of his physical presence, he showed it. He won pretty much every aerial duel. He was taking the ball down. He was passing it off. He was using his strength. He was using his body. A little bit disappointed with him in front of goal. I think there was a couple of opportunities that he maybe should have done a little bit better with. Certainly that one where he goes one-on-one and he dinks it over the goalkeeper and it ends up going out. But it is what it is. Sharpness, fitness, hasn't got his first Premier League goal. Yeah, probably a little bit of pressure on him as well from himself. Did try and get one in from the halfway line, which, on another day we'd be sitting here saying 10 out of 10, what a goal. But no, I thought his overall play was good. I thought maybe he could, he needs to sharpen up in front of goal. But generally, I thought he battled, and he was quite isolated at times today as well. Even though we won the game, he was quite isolated. On to the subs then, Danjuma. Going to give him a 6.5. I think he come on. I think he ran round. I think he worked hard. I think he put himself about, battled, and again, just give us that little bit of energy, give us that little bit of that little bit of fresh legs that we needed in the last 20 minutes. And then Dom, I'm going to give Dom an 8 as well. He's come on off the bench, half an hour to go, winning the game, go and get the third, go and get the goal that absolutely sees this game off. Brilliant play by James Garner. Dom gets one-on-one. He's got one chance and he takes it. It's a brilliant goal. What more can you ask for? Your striker coming off the bench, getting one chance and he scores it. Dom now will probably start, I would assume, next week. And then you've got options there. Maybe Beto then will come off the bench and get a goal because he's feeling the pressure a little bit. This is what you want. You want 2 strikers who are capable of keeping up with each other and competing with each other and therefore better than each other. And we haven't had that before, and hopefully we've got that now. Anyway, a brilliant win. get in, up the fucking toffees. Go and check out the instant match reaction if you haven't already. Everton have won a game of footy, and we've won a game of footy away from home. I can't wait to wake up tomorrow morning and just be dead happy about the world because Everton have won a game of footy. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you've enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you after.